tries to enforce unpopular policies aimed at cutting public spending. Labour MP Rachel Maskell says the changes don't go far enough.
It will be good news for people who are current claimants, but those people who will claim in the future, and we never know the twists and turns of life ahead of us, means that they could end up not getting any support from their personal independence payments.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Friday, the 27th day of June for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way. All of your news, weather, and sports you need to get out the door here this morning. Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon going to be receiving a $180,000 bonus. We'll tell you why coming up here this morning. The Nebraska men's basketball team will face New Mexico in the opening round of the 2025 Hall of Fame Classic. That's coming up on November 20th at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Ryan Cockbrenner has become Creighton's sixth men's basketball player since 2014 to be selected in the NBA draft. Some Legion baseball coming up this weekend. The Hastings Sodbusters continue their slide. They lost to Casper last night by a score of 11-1. Kansas City Royals losing their fifth straight game last night, dropping a 4-0 decision to Tampa Bay. Chicago beats the St. Louis Cardinals again by the score of 3-0. And we've got some news coming out of the NFL as well involving former Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. So that's what's topping the sports scene here this morning. Expect to hear from Jim Slacker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network coming up at 7:30 this morning, talking about the ponies up in Columbus and anything else in the horse racing industry. He'll keep us up to date on that. So, again, a full plate here for a Friday morning as we welcome in the Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning to you, Mike, and lots to get to on the sports front. Local news side of things will be, of course, touching more on the flooding situation that's currently going on in Grand Island, as they were in cleanup mode yesterday, and now a state of emergency has been declared for the city of Grand Island, so we'll get you up to speed on the latest there. Also, the Nebraska Cannabis Commission meeting yesterday as they continue to try to lay out the framework for the medical marijuana legislation that was voter approved last election cycle, and it might be a bit watered down from what the will of the people actually wanted. So we'll dive into some deets on that as we continue to roll along. But like you said, made it to the end of the work week. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, hopefully the people are still recovering in Grand Island. We continue to look at pictures on all the social media sites there.
It's just nuts.
Yeah, it is. A lot of water because of all the rain the other night. So they're dealing with a lot of problems up in Grand Island. The Red Cross has set up a shelter in the Grand Island. So, again, our thoughts are with them as they continue the process of recovering and cleaning up. A lot of people have a lot of cleanup work to do in GI.
I heard yesterday from a friend that lives up there, and their egress window in their basement just buckled underneath the pressure and poured water in for 6 straight hours. And so you can imagine they were salvaged very little from that situation. And I mean, that's just one isolated incident and probably happening to many homes in Grand Island. So can't imagine getting that much rainfall in that short amount of time. I mean, Tim broke it down yesterday really well with us on the show, and just talking about what that did to some of the creeks and streams, and that area is already prone to flooding anyways, especially like the Dannenbrog area, and we'll talk more about what Dannenbrog is going through here on the show today. But an area prone to flooding, receiving that much rainfall in that short amount of time, never spells good news. And so we continue to keep the Grand Islanders in our thoughts today.
Yeah, the weather should be clearing up for the weekend, and then another pretty good chance of rain into the forecast for Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we got an update from Tim coming up here in just a little bit. So what we expected, Ryan Cockbrenner from Creighton had his name called pretty early in the second day of the NBA draft last night, taken in the second round, 34th pick overall by the Charlotte Hornets. First time that Charlotte has picked a player. I know, but obviously,
go in your favor.
Remember, there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, so there's 60 odd players chosen in the NBA draft. He'll go someplace. Sure. Bryce Williams will hook on. Either he'll play overseas in Europe, or he'll get taken as a free agent for somebody, and they'll develop him down in that G League or whatever they call that preliminary league to the NBA. So he'll move on. We'll hear something, I'm sure, probably today concerning Bryce Williams and his future. But Ryan Cockbrenner for Creighton, long list of Creighton players that have made the NBA, and now you can add his name to the list. The 6th guy since 2014 to be taken in the NBA draft, as he is moving on to the Charlotte Hornets.
Sweet.
All right, what else we got here? We got some stadium news here. Hamilton County and the Cincinnati Bengals took a major step toward keeping the NFL franchise based in downtown Cincinnati yesterday. The Board of County Commissioners approved the tentative framework for a $470 million agreement that will keep the team in its current home of Paycor Stadium through at least 2036. The money will be used to renovate the stadium that opened in 2000 on the banks of the Ohio River. So the Bengals are not going anywhere. The same story may not be true for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go again. The Chiefs have requested an extension to an end of June deadline for a stadium financing package from the state of Kansas. An indication that the NFL franchise's potential move across the state line from Missouri is a legitimate possibility. The Chiefs president, Mark Donovan, requested the extension yesterday in a letter to Kansas Senate President Ty Masterson. Donovan explained that the Chiefs have made significant progress on plans for a new stadium development, but that more time is needed to bring the effect and the effort to full fruition. The Kansas Legislative Coordinating Council is scheduled to meet on July 7th to consider extending the incentive deadline. So I thought that proposal was pretty well dead in the water. Evidently, it is not. And and Kansas City still looking maybe building a brand new stadium just across the state line over in Kansas.
And this is not my territory, so I'll let you sound off on it for a little bit. This is not something that Chiefs fans are terribly excited about from what I've gathered on social media.
Well, they voted it down once, and we got into this discussion before. I think the fans down in Kansas City were just not willing to pay the bill themselves.
Sure.
And that's why they voted down the proposal at the ballot box. But I don't get a feeling that it's a overwhelming majority that, the Chiefs fans want to move out of Arrowhead and build a brand new stadium out on the Kansas side of things, out by the Speedway, to build kind of a, boy, that would be a heck of a mecca out there, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Got the racetrack across the street. You'd
Casino.
have the casino sitting right there.
Hooters. Chiefs.
God, Hooters would be jammed, wouldn't it? It already is. Hooters are jammed.
It's your mecca right there. Chiefs,
Sonny,
NASCAR, casinos, and Hooters.
That's what else do you need in life? What else do you need in life? You got racing.
Every show from Huddle Up into the Kansas Motor Speedway.
There we go. We'd have racing, we'd have football, and we've got Hooters. What the hell else would you need in life? We won't be moving the show down if that happens.
Is this heaven? No, it's Kansas.
It's Kansas City, and it's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. That could be our new model.
I love it.
Extreme Huddle Up, Extreme Sports. Is this heaven?
No, it's Kansas
Something like
City.
that. So anyway, so a couple of stadium proposals there. It looks like Cincinnati staying put. The Chiefs are in limbo where they're going to end up.
I think I just sold you on the Chiefs moving to Kansas. I think now that you think about it, you're the number one supporter for the move.
I could be. I guess I could be swayed. I can't see it happening. I can't see the Chiefs moving out of Arrowhead. What was my story earlier in the week? That they approved money to put into Arrowhead with a bunch of improvements. I think I had a story earlier in the week concerning that. So a lot of money is being floated around on both sides of the state line in Kansas and Missouri to either keep the Chiefs in Missouri at Arrowhead or to build a new stadium over on the Kansas side of the State River.
It would just be weird to not be at Arrowhead or not be in Missouri. It would take certainly an adjustment and some getting used to. But money talks, and this is big business. And you're watching right now, like, what do they call it? The old school game of chicken between Kansas and Missouri. And they're just kind of flexing on each other. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'd be anxious to hear how the fans really weigh in on this. Obviously, we're not close enough down in Missouri or Kansas to get a feel on this, but I wonder how the fans really feel about this.
Yeah.
I guess I don't care. I'd like to see them stay at Arrowhead, but if they want to build a brand new stadium on the Kansas side of things, go ahead. It's not going to be for a while anyway, so I guess I don't care either way.
You make tricks to either. You made tricks to both, so.
Yeah, I can see where they're coming from to build out the Kansas side of things, but I hate to see the Chiefs leave Arrowhead. Maybe you can weigh in. Maybe some of the Kansas signed with an NFL team. If he were to sign with a team, he could attend training camp and play in preseason games before the suspension starts on August the 26th. He is eligible for reinstatement on November the 11th. According to the NFL, Tucker was accused of sexual misconduct by 16 massage therapists from 8 high-end spas and wellness centers in the Baltimore area. All of the alleged misconduct reportedly occurred between 2012 and 2016 during Tucker's first 5 seasons in the NFL. The Ravens released Tucker back on May 5th, parting ways with the league's most accurate kicker during the NFL's investigation. So don't put Justin Tucker on your fantasy football list of kickers. He's not going to be playing for a while. In fact, he's not even hooked on with a team. By the time his suspension is over, though, there'll be a team that picks up Justin Tucker.
Why? He's like 45. I mean,
he's 35. He's 35. 35? Yeah.
It feels like he's been in the league since 1945. But
he's the most accurate kicker in the NFL. Somebody is going to need a kicker by November the 11th. Mark my word, Justin Tucker will play again in the NFL.
He's already made bank. Just retire. Just be done.
He's 35. He's not going to retire. Somebody will need a kicker by November 11th. His suspension will be over. Mark my word, he'll be on an NFL team somewhere this year.
I'm marking your word.
Okay.
Marking it down.
Alleged incidents at
7:25, 7:16 a.m. Mike Willis
in fact,
by week 11.
I might pick him up on my fantasy team.
Wow.
And just keep him on the bench and for him to join a team.
That so tracks with your fantasy football playing. that you would stash a kicker.
Yeah, I'd stash a kicker on my roster just because I know he's going to come out. Yeah, these are incidents that occurred between 2012 and 2016, almost as long as it has taken to get our quiet zones installed in Hastings.
That's good stuff. Yeah, but they still happened, and our quiet zones haven't yet, so sigh.
So, yeah, we kind of knew Justin Tucker would face some sort of punishment, and they're going to allow the suspension to run off even during his his pre-agency period.
Sure.
He's looking to sign on with the team, so the time is going to click away beginning August 26th. So that's what Justin Tucker is involved with here. So
speaking of the quiet zones, holy crap. I was working First Street last night. We had the windows open. It was market night downtown. Good atmosphere, really fun. People were vibing to the music, and next thing you know, this train that was just crawling through the tracks downtown was on the horn like every 4 seconds for like 12 seconds total, and he would do this for like a minute. I mean, and I was screaming like outside the brewery, like, here we get it, shut up. They're doing it more now that we're constructing the quiet zones than I think they've ever been on the horn before.
yeah, they probably know that, so they know in the future when they blow through Hastings, they won't be able to blow their horn, so they're getting all their
horn in. I mean, it was like egregiously awful yesterday, and it went on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I see that a lot when I'm out the ballpark for Legion games. That they seem to be laying on the horn a little bit more.
Dude, like one will suffice.
Just a little.
That'll work.
That's good enough. We see you coming.
Can I hear that again?
Does that sound like a horn?
A squeaky toy. like a horn on a clown car.
God. Well, that's my best impression I can do for a train horn.
The first game played yesterday for the Colorado Rockies, and officially, through all of Major League Baseball, are off to the 4th worst start with a 18-63 record.
Now, wait a minute. Our one Rockies fan, he was He was all gun-ho earlier this week that they had won a couple of games, and he thought they were back in the race.
Rockies have won more games in the last 2 weeks than the Royals have. What is going on in Kansas City?
Yeah, I don't know. They've lost 5 straight now.
It's not. I mean, since the Savannah Banana have played at the Kauffman Stadium, like they have more wins. They have more wins than the Royals do at Kauffman.
The Bananas, they jinxed Royal Stadium.
The Nationals of 1886, we go way, way, way back, halfway through the season, a 13-68 record. Your favorite, the Spiders, the Cleveland Spiders in 1899 were 14-67. And the Alleghenies in 1890. So no team no team after 1904 has had a worse start than the 2025 Colorado Rockies at 18-63 halfway through the season.
Wow.
That's some bad baseball.
Yeah, you Rockies fans, no, you're not. You haven't turned things around. Tim thought that they were going to turn things around, that they won a couple of games. They won a series, I think, down in Florida. They won a series, and, hey, we're going to turn things around. No.
That's Jim was a conductor? Like, that should have been in our notes. Jim, former conductor.
Oh, yeah, he worked on the railroad.
He said he wouldn't have to lay on the horn so much if drivers weren't such idiots. Which, coming from Hastings, I can totally vouch for.
Well, when we talk to Jim here in a little bit, we'll talk to him about that. Since you brought it up, we also got to talk about tube socks.
Wait, what?
Remember, we're going to
the tube socks and cowboy boots, right?
Cowboy boots, and picking up his wife and taking her to a dance. His cowboy boots and tube socks and shorts. We got to talk to him about that. It's 7:30 in addition to the ponies. So that's all coming up. If you'd like to chime in with us, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. That's our fan line. 402-834-1330, something that we've talked about, something on your mind here today, even non-sports related. Give us a call. Love to talk to you here at the breakfast table. 402-834-1330. Leave a message on our social media sites as well. We're monitoring those comments as they come in. You're waking up with Ken Tyson this morning. It's a Friday morning at 7:22.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
The city of Grand Island has suffered from continuing rainfall and flash flooding, the flood causing severe damage to public and private property, disruption of utility services, and endangerment to the health and safety of the citizens of Hall County within the disaster area. Therefore, Grand Island Mayor Roger Steele has declared a state of emergency on behalf of the city and will execute the expenditure of emergency funds from all available resources, invoking of match mutual aid agreements, and the applying to the state of Nebraska for assistance from the governor's emergency fund. Meanwhile, the village of Dannenbrog and Dannenbrog Fire and Rescue have begun sandbagging operations as heavy rainfall on the Oak Creek, South and Middle Loop River have all combined to backfeed water into the already full Oak Creek, thus putting, the village putting out a request for volunteers to help fill and disperse sandbags around residential and business properties yesterday via social media. Meanwhile, the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission unanimously approved a set of emergency regulations in a watered-down version of the will of the people when it comes to medical marijuana in the state. Of the regulations they decided upon yesterday, there's no flower, no products for smoking or vaping, no edibles will be allowed to be consumed, leaving the allowed alternatives to be oral tablets, capsules, and tinctures. Also, they put a regulation in that there can only be one dispensary per each of Nebraska's 12 judicial districts, which will include big cities like the Metro of Omaha and Lincoln. The emergency regulations are temporary and valid for up to 90 days, during which public comments will be accepted until July 15th. The commission will then draft permanent regulations based on the feedback, aiming to meet the full regulatory framework by July 31st and begin issuing licenses by October 1st. Coming up on 7:25, let's head back over to the East Side Studios, shall we? Here's Mike Will with your check on sports.
Yeah, Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon will receive a $180,000 bonus after Nebraska capped a strong athletic year by finishing 21st in the Learfield Directors' Cup standings. That's their best finish since 2010. Nebraska is one of 7 teams in the Big Ten Conference to finish in the top 25. Joined USC, which finished second, UCLA 5th, Ohio State 8th, Michigan 13th, Penn State 16th, and Oregon 18th, who won the Division I 2024-2025 Learfield Directors' Cup stands. It was Texas. The Longhorns. The Nebraska men's basketball team will face New Mexico in the opening round of the 2025 Hall of Fame Classic on November 20th at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. The Huskers finished 21-14 last season and won the championship in the college basketball crown. New Mexico went 27-8 and reached the second round of the NCAA tournament. This will be only the second meeting ever between the two schools. New Mexico beat Nebraska 83-71 in the 2009 NIT. Tip-off for the game will be at 6. In the other game, Kansas State will battle Mississippi State. The consolation and championship games will be played the following night. Ryan Cockbrenner has become Creighton's 6th men's basketball player since 2014 to be selected in the NBA draft. He was picked up by the Charlotte Hornets in the second round last night with the 34th overall pick. Cockbrenner turned in one of the most decorated careers in Creighton basketball history, ranking second in program history in points, rebounds, blocks, field goals made, and field goal percentage. In American Legion baseball action this weekend, Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes will play Omaha Creighton Prep tonight in the first round of the Grand Island Hastings tournament. Game time 7:45 out at Duncan Field. Hastings Runza will play in the Omaha South tournament beginning tomorrow. Last night, the Warriors played a doubleheader at Lincoln Pius, losing the first game 9-8 and fighting to a 4-4 tie in the second game. Hastings Sodbusters lost their 5th straight game last night, losing to Casper 11-1. The Spuds out-hit the Sodbusters 10-4. Chase Phillips was the losing pitcher. The Sodbusters are now 15-12 in the season and will host the Fremont Moo on Monday. Game time will be at 6:35 out at Duncan. And Tampa Bay beat the Kansas City Royals 4-0 last night. That's the 5th straight loss for the Royals. Kansas City now 38-43. They'll play host to the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. First pitch will be at 7:10. Tyson didn't mention this, but the Chicago Cubs beat St. Louis 3-0 last night. The Cardinals will play at Cleveland tonight. That's a check in your sports headline. 7:28 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
We'll start off this Friday morning with a little bit of patchy fog. Other than that, plenty of sunshine and a high of 92. Southeast winds on the light side, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight tonight, a low of 68, high of 94 Saturday, and sunny. The wind's a little breezy, south winds 5 to 10, gust to 20. Overnight Saturday night, we'll have a chance area showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue on Sunday. 68's overnight low and 90 is the high on Sunday. And on Monday, a high of 85.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got east winds at 5. Sunny skies 67 and Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class winged beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Yeah, they're racing at Cam Raceway this weekend. The now 600 National Series going to be in town this weekend. Races both Friday and Saturday nights out at Cam. The Deb Brents Memorial Race is going to be held tomorrow night. So racing action out at Cam Raceway both Friday and Saturday. If you can't make it to the races, you can always follow the races live here on Extreme Sports. Just go to our webpage at x-streamsports.com. Click on the racing tab there at the top of the page and follow the instructions, and you'll get a complete video view of what's going on tonight and tomorrow night. A big national series going to be in town, so drivers from all over the country going to be in Hastings competing both Friday and Saturday night, and you can follow it live right here at Extreme Sports on our webpage at x-streamsports.com. It's Friday. It's Friday, and you know what that means.
They're at the post. Now they're moving in the gate.
Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and Barbaro is going to win this Derby by 6 lengths. Blue Best had second. From far back, Steppenwolf came on to be third.
All right, it's Friday, and that means we'd like to check in with Jim Sliker of the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network to talk about the ponies and anything else on our mind here today. Good morning, Jimmy. Welcome to the show again.
Morning, guys. It's a big week of racing coming up here. There's some Breeders' Qualification races coming up, and also a couple stakes races here at Columbus. So looking excited to getting back to racing after missing a couple days last week due to the weather.
Yeah, last week it was the warm weather week with the temps and the hundreds, and you had to call off the races. How's the track? We know there was a lot of rain up around Columbus. How's the track? Is everything a go for this weekend?
Everything is a go at this point. Weather's going to be great. Low 90s, a lot of sunshine, so we'll have a dry track, and you guys are taking really good care of this track up here. So it should be some good racing.
And good racing on card here, starting off on a Friday evening, Jim. Two races here on the Friday card in Columbus. Some familiar names, some familiar faces, and horses that are going to be in the gate today. Should be a fantastic day of racing. Let's break down the Friday card. This is jam packed.
It is, and going to start right off with the stakes race, the HBPA Stallion Auction Stakes. This was scheduled to be run last week, and of course, due to the weather, that was postponed. So throwing that in there, that's going to be the very first race, and it might be a short field, but it's a very talented field. And we have they call me Moose. He's raced really well this year. It's going to be a little trying for him, though, because this is a horse that comes from off the pace, so he's going to have to try to run down Fly High Tigger and PR more whiskey in there. And but all in all, that ought to be a super race. It'll shape up well, and I do think Call Me Moose is going to outclass him and catch him down the stretch. But it's a nice way to start the day off, and for our listeners, there are 7 races today instead of just 6 with the addition of that race. And then later on, we'll move to the Columbus Maturity Matron Stakes, and that also has a really nice field. That's for Nebraska-bred fillies and mares, and Captor's Lady returns. That'll probably be the big morning favorite. Diamond Go Girl has been running really well, but I'm looking for a little bit of an outsider. I don't think she's going to be at big odds, but Lady Mazatlan last kind of got caught, but that was the first time she'd stretched out to a mile. They're back to the 6 furlongs, and I think her speed and keep her right close to the pace, and she ought to be able to stalk them also stretch and run them down and hopefully get the win there. She's been running real well this year. She's matured real well. She's had 3 wins, and up until her last race, she was perfect this year.
So again, 7 races on the card today up in Columbus. You mentioned a couple of winners there, Jimmy. Is there anything that pops out as maybe your best bet for the day today?
Well, my best bet does come in that short field with the Call Me Moose. Like I said, I do think in the Stallion auction stakes that he's just going to outclass him. He's going to have to lay pretty close, though. Can't drop way back and expect to make a run in a short field. If something gets out, runs an easy pace, he'd have a hard time running into it. But I think there'll be enough speed up there that they Call Me Moose should get the win. Now later on today, the very last race is where I'm going to try to make my money. I like Will Cat, the number 1 horse. He's dropping back to the 5 furlongs. Has speed in the rail. Having the rail, everybody with speed obviously is to his outside, but he's tried allowance competition a few times. He's tried open competition, and dropping back to the $5,000 claimer level, he showed speed, and I watched for that speed to carry him to the winner's circle day. And hopefully it's some pretty nice odds. I think we got to be able to get 4 or 5 to 1 on him, and I'll take that money.
Jim Schleicher again from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us this morning on Huddle Up. His best bet and long shot plays here on the Friday card. I'm going to get in on the fun a little bit on the long shot play and give you a horse. And tell me if this is in the money or not, Jim. But let's go to the 4th race. The old country boy in me can't get over the Hank Williams Sr.
some really good races. We start looking at the Saturday card. We got a lot of allowance races in there, but a couple of them that kind of pop out to me. The very first race, I giggle. This horse has let me down so many times. He's probably let my listeners down because I've touted him a bit. For some reason, I giggle has yet to break his maiden, never won a race. He's always close. When you've got 5 second place finishes, you're right in it. And so I look for that horse, probably some low odds, but should be able to run him down. But going to a long shot, I'm going to go to the second race and Stand By Time. He's trained by Mark Hibden. Now, Mark is winning at a 40% clip at Columbus. Although the meet is early in the year, he's got 80% of his horses are in the money. Jumps up in class. Last performance was good. They changed tactics last out, and they sent this horse to the lead, and that's something he hadn't shown for quite a while. And I think they'll try that again on Saturday. And I look for some good odds there, maybe 5-1 or more possibly with him. But I definitely will be playing Stand By Time, the number 2 or the number 5 in the second race at Saturday in Columbus to play good in the exotics.
Jim Schleicher again, Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network, joining us here on Huddle Up this morning as we continue to break down the card for the weekend in Columbus. On the national side of things, Jim, all eyes point to the road to the Breeders' Cup, and there's some excitement on the road to the Breeders' Cup this weekend.
We're starting to get into earnest now to the win and you're in races in the Breeders' Cup, and Churchill is back with stakes races on tomorrow's card. 2 of those will be win and you're in races. We'll look at race 7, the Florida List Stakes. That's for fillies and mares. The winner of that one automatically qualifies for the $4 million Breeders' Cup Distaff race. It's a short field. There's only 5 horses. Nobody wants to take on last year's champion, Torpedo Anna. She faltered last time out, and the trainer says, I think I brought her back too early. She'd run at Oaklawn, come right back 3 weeks later, and just seemed to be a little tired. She's had a nice layoff, and so, short odds, but I think Torpedo Anna is just going to blow this away. And then later on, we looked at the 11th race at Churchill, the Stephen Foster. It's a $1 million race going a mile and 1/8. The winner of that one automatically qualifies for the $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic. This race is stacked. We got Skippy Longstocking, winner of over $3 million. Miss Dan, the 2024 Kentucky Derby winner. Hit Show on the $12 million Maidon World Cup earlier this year. Sierra Leone runs second in the Kentucky Derby to Mystic Dan and was the 2024 Breeders' Cup Classic winner. Any one of the 7 horses in there can win. Is there one that really stands out? They stand out, but I'll probably be playing the exactas in there. Mystic Dan, probably chances are the bettors are going to make a favorite. That horse bounced back real well last time. He's been training well going into this race. But 3 horses that I'm going to probably be playing is Mystic Dan, Mind Force, and Sierra Leone. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to watching that race tomorrow, and I think everybody should be eyes on that race. It's a big implication for the what's going to happen down the road in the Travers and the Breeders' Cup Classic.
All right, you can get to Fowler Park in Grand Island and bet the races up in Columbus, and you can also bet the races for the Breeders' Cup. So if that's on your mind for the weekend, you've got Jimmy's selections right there. You can follow all of Jim's picks on his Facebook group that he's got going. All you got to do is search for that, and all your picks are right there on all the racing information across the nation. That's the big time stuff is right there on your group chat, right?
That is correct. We mainly look at the Nebraska races, trying to grow Nebraska races, keep the people informed because there's not a lot of media coverage anymore. So we try to pick up the slack there. So please check us out on the Facebook group. It's Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. We'll show you all the entries our selections, little insights to the races every day that they're racing at Columbus. We'll also carry that on to Omaha as well. And later on, coming up in August, the new racetrack out at Ogallala, the quarter horse track, is going to debut out there. So we'll also do some coverage of the quarter horses out there come in August.
All right, Jim, we're going to give you Jimmy is a former engineer on the railroad. Tyson kind of got into your shorts early today, Jimmy, when he was talking about the engineers blowing their horn through Hastings. That was annoying him. We'll give you a counter punch here from the engineering side of things.
Well, having 35 years of experience on the railroad, sitting in the chair running those trains, and you've got anywhere from 14,000 ton up train, or you've got a lot of weight behind you. There's gates on most of these crossings. Some of them aren't, but you have some of the gravel roads. But people just get distracted, whether it's listening to the radio, disciplined kids, whatever. The close calls that we see when you're sitting up there, and it just is such a helpless feeling, and all you can do is blow that horn. When you've seen what can happen when people fail and try to cross in front of us, I'll tell you what, we don't like to blow the horn any more than you like listening to it. But like I said, we're going to blow it. I hate to say that.
I can sympathize now that you put it in the perspective of you blow as necessary as drivers are idiots, and I can sympathize with that. So I'm totally fine. What about this? What about this boots, tube socks, and taking your girl dancing story?
Oh my God! This has been a lot of years ago. That was when I was rocking my sexy. When I was in shape. Sounds good anyhow. So my wife had a good friend. It was her godmother was playing in a bar. And actually this was out in North Platte, and then she went on to Nashville to play as well. But, so she was playing at the local bar, and my wife wanted to go, and I says, okay. And it was a nice hot day, and I kind of says, I'm going to have some fun with Barbara. So I went, and I was dressed appropriately. I had my jeans, a nice Western shirt, my boots on and stuff. So before I left, I went back out in the car. I put on a pair of shorts. I've got my tube socks pulled up. My cowboy boots on. She's singing this nice classic ballad at the time, and I just walked up right in front of the stage and started dancing, and see what kind of reaction I got. And I got the reaction I wanted to. She had to stop singing. She was laughing so hard, and I haven't let that down for quite a while. It still gets brought up. Me rocking the shorts and cowboy boots, but I was probably 50 pounds lighter back then, and I could get away with it a lot better than I could now.
Jim, I also got a picture sent to me this week with you driving around on your lawnmower, maybe not in cowboy boots, but you had your tube socks and your shorts on, and it looked like you were enjoying yourself on your John Deere riding lawnmower.
Well, I kind of tend, go back to old school 80s and the tube socks. That's what keeps these nice calves in shape and, things like that. Keeps flies off my legs when I'm mowing. I don't know. Don't come out and look. I might not be a fashion statement when I'm mowing. You could probably get some good laughs.
All right, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us like he does each and every Friday. Jimmy, hope you have some good luck this weekend. Always enjoy talking to you. We'll see you again next week.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it, guys.
All right, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here today. Probably not the guy we're going to ask for any fashion statements from Jimmy.
Sure.
But, he hangs in there. Hangs in there with the best of us, huh? Can't put anything past the tube socks and shorts.
Don't read me dirty, but I mow with tube socks and shorts.
Are you kidding me?
I don't want bugs to bite my ankles. You get the
You mow with
skeeters and the
tube
bugs.
socks on?
Yes.
I'm going to come over and get a picture of that. Let me know the next time you're mowing.
I will intentionally not now.
God, I'm going to get
so-
a picture of that. Plaster that all over the place.
It's literally, yeah, it's a cutoff shirt, athletic shorts, and tube socks. Like, I protect myself because I'm not going to get a bit out there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, big-ass backyard, man.
That's a sight for sore eyes.
No one's watching me mow. That's a
Yes,
sight
they
for
are.
sore anyways, anyway. No,
They're watching you mow. Your neighbors do. They
They've
look
got
out and say,
so many better things to do than watch me mow.
no. Don't you have some nosy neighbors in your neighborhood?
I don't think so.
Yeah, every neighborhood has got that one person that knows everything, that's got her eyes out the window like 19 and a half hours a day. Every neighborhood has one. The nosy lady down there on the corner. The nosy lady.
We have a quiet neighborhood where everyone minds their own damn business. And I'm going to believe it.
No.
You're not going to tell me otherwise. Now I'm going
No,
to be paranoid about it.
You've got somebody in your neighborhood that is that nosy lady down the street that knows everything.
Speaking of, like, people that, like, watch you for no reason, I didn't realize this until yesterday. Well, I got my hair, the one hair that I have, I got it cut the other day, and apparently people took notice. If you haven't noticed, I am bald, and balding rapidly, so I shaved my head, basically just down to the very last, like I had no guard, just through everything. And I said, just keep it nice and short. And I'm tired of messing with it. It grows in weird places now. It's what happens when you get to, like, approaching 40, right? And so bald ultimately won the race over gray. So I shaved it down, all the way down with the no guard. And apparently that was, like, the talk of the Sodbusters game 2 weeks ago. Because I took my hat off during the national anthem. I was on the field. And what I'm being told now by 2 weeks removed was, like, there was a murmur in the stadium, like, oh, look, Tyus, that's a nice shaved head.
Why did he shave his head? Everybody's saying.
And I'm saying, the hell are you looking at my head for during the national anthem? Like, I told you to turn around and address the flag.
No,
staring at my head.
That goes along with what I was just telling you. There's somebody's watching you all the time.
They were all watching.
Like in your neighborhood with you and your tube socks mowing the yard.
I don't
Somebody
understand.
sees you out there with tube socks on.
I don't understand why you're looking at me. Like, I'm supposed to be the furthest thing away from anybody's attention. We have a national anthem singer. We got ball players on the field. We've got a flag that you can look at during the national anthem. And you're looking at my bald head? Give me a break, people.
It probably stands out.
Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about
You're
it.
you're probably the only guy out there with a bald head. Those Sodbusters guys, they have a lot of hair.
So look at the hair.
It stands out.
Look at the
Your
long,
bald
flowing
head.
hair. Don't look at my bald head.
It stands out.
This is why I wear hats.
I know
Now
you
I'm
wear.
even more uncomfortable.
Yeah, you wear hats 99.9% of the time, so nobody knows that you have a bald head.
I have worn hats to sleep.
That's what I mean. You wear hats all the time.
Yes.
So,
I
anyway.
don't like people staring at my bald head.
So next time you see Tyson mowing the yard with his tube socks, or he's out to the Sodbusters, you can look at his bald head. Because we're watching you. We are watching you just like that nosy lady on the corner that knows everything about what's going on in your neighborhood. I've got one. Every neighborhood has that lady.
I've spent the last 3 years in therapy, like, being told that nobody cares what you do.
Yes, we do.
And that nobody's watching you.
Everybody's watching you.
And that feeling that you have inside that everyone's watching me and making fun of me and judging me, that doesn't exist. And now you're telling me that that's not the truth?
Everybody's
that the last
watching
5
you.
years of therapy have been a lie?
Everybody's watching you. I don't know if we care what you are doing, but everybody's watching you. For one reason or another, everybody's watching you. So just remember Just remember that.
Everyone's watching to see what you will do.
God. Don't quit your day job. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is, yeah, which one of the 7? You're waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Top story continues to focus on our neighbors to the north over at the city of Grand Island as they have suffered from continuing flooding and flash flooding and rainfall. The flooding causing severe damage to public and private property, disruption of utility services, and endangerment to the health and safety of the citizens of Hall County in the disaster area. Therefore, Grand Island Mayor Roger Steele declared a state of emergency yesterday on behalf of the city and will execute the expenditure of emergency funds from all available resources, invoking mutual aid agreements, and applying to the state of Nebraska for assistance from the governor's emergency fund. Meanwhile, the village of Dannenbrog and Dannenbrog Fire and Rescue have begun bagging operations as heavy rainfall on the Oak Creek, South, and Middle Loop rivers have combined to backfeed water into the already full Oak Creek. They put out a request for volunteers to help fill and disperse sandbags around residential property and businesses yesterday via social media. The Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission met yesterday and unanimously approved a set of emergency regulations in what's being called a watered-down version of the will of the people when it comes to medical marijuana in Nebraska. Of the many regulations the Anti-Marijuana Medical Cannabis Commission decided on was no flower, no products for smoking or vaping, no edible will be allowed to be consumed, leaving the only allowed alternatives to be oral tablets, capsules, and tinctures. They also put in regulations in regards to the distances from one dispensary to another, and there can only be one dispensary per each of Nebraska's 12 judicial districts, which includes big cities like the Metro and Omaha and Lincoln. The emergency regulations are temporary. They're valid for up to 90 days. During public comments are being accepted until July 15th. The commission will draft permanent regulations based on the feedback, aiming to meet the full regulatory framework by July 31st and begin issuing licenses October 1st. 2 minutes till 8 o'clock. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Well, Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon will receive a $180,000 bonus after Nebraska capped a strong athletic year by finishing 21st in the Learfield Directors' Cup standings. That's their best finish since 2010. The Nebraska men's basketball team will face New Mexico in the opening round of the 2025 Hall of Fame Classic on November 20th at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. The other game is going to pit Kansas State up against Mississippi State. The consolation and championship games will be played the following night. Ryan Cockbrenner has become Creighton's sixth men's basketball player since 2014 to be selected in the NBA draft. He was picked up by the Charlotte Hornets in the second round with the 34th pick last night. American Legion baseball action this weekend. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes will play Omaha Creighton Prep tonight in the first round of the Grand Island Hastings tournament. Game time 7:45 out of Duncan. Hastings runs will play in the Omaha South tournament beginning tomorrow. Last night the Warriors played 2 games against Lincoln Pius. They lost the first game 9-8. They fought to a 4-4 tie in the second game. Hastings Sodbusters lost their 5th straight game last night, losing to Casper 11-1. Sodbusters now 15-12 in the season. They will host the Fremont Moo on Monday. Kansas City lost to Tampa Bay 4-0 last night, 5th straight loss for the Royals. Kansas City will host the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. First pitch will be at 7:10. That's just checking your signs at 8 o'clock.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
We'll start off this Friday morning with a little bit of patchy fog. Other than that, plenty of sunshine and a high of 92. Southeast winds on the light side, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight tonight, a low of 68, high of 94 Saturday, and sunny. The wind's a little breezy, south winds 5 to 10, gust to 20. Overnight Saturday night, we'll have a chance area showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue on Sunday. 68's overnight low and 90 is the high on Sunday. And on Monday, a high of 85.
East winds this morning at 5 miles per hour. It is sunny. It is 67 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Miletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Miletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beer, spirits,
receive continuous training and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Comet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. June 27th and 28th, the now 600 National Series comes to town, featuring drivers from all over the nation and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
So again, they're racing tonight at Cam Raceway. Now 600 National Series going to be in town, and the Deb Brent's Memorial Race all scheduled for this weekend. Deb Brent's Memorial Race was a race that was originally set for May, but was postponed by rain. They will hold that race tomorrow at Cam Raceway. So racing both Friday and Saturday at Cam this weekend. If you can't make it to any of the races, you can join us with our live feed right here on Extreme Sports, X-streamsports.com. On the website, click on the racing tab there at the top of the page. Follow the instructions, and you'll be able to watch the races live wherever you are tonight. Maybe you're camping tonight, want to watch the races while you're hanging out at the campfire, overlooking the lake. We've done that a lot already this season.
Is that the weekend agenda for your the Will Clan again?
Yeah, we're at the lake this weekend.
Fantastic. Have fun.
I'm sure I will.
I got Flatwater Music Festival duty tonight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had them on earlier this week. Flatwater Music Festival is this weekend in Hastings, so looks like another big weekend in town.
God, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, no, there's nothing going on.
We got national 600
Racing.
wing racers that are going to be in town. I think state softball, ball is in town this weekend.
Yeah, there's state tournaments like the next 3 or 4 weekends.
There must be, because I had somebody that was in First Street yesterday, and they were like, "Man, your prices are outrageous." I'm like, there's a lot of things going on this weekend, so backed them up.
That's usually what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's state softball going on, Flatwater Music going on out at Prairie Lawn. So, a lot of things going on. So, sports-wise, it's baseball this weekend. We've had the College World Series the past couple of weekends. That's in the books. So we got just a little bit baseball action on the national scene. Talking about the ponies with Jim Lawal. There's some breeders up here in the racing action with the ponies. You can head up to Fodder and bet those races as well. So if not, enjoy your weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with just sitting back and relaxing for a weekend, is there?
I do it most weekends, so no. Not at all.
Just kicking back, watching the grass grow so you can mow it again next week.
Yeah. I'm going to that game today. Whether
I know I started my yard yesterday and ran out of enthusiasm last night. I didn't finish it off. That's the first thing I got up today. I got to go finish my yard.
Yeah, I suppose it's dry enough now.
I got like 3/4 of it mowed, and I ran out of enthusiasm last night. God, it was tall.
Mm-hmm.
I can't let that grow to that level again. It makes it a project then.
Yeah.
Instead of just cruising through, I told you that I was looking for a horse or riding lawnmower yesterday.
A horse.
I decided I would do it. My push mower. Sure. It was too big of a project for that. Made it really a pain in the ass to mow my yard. I gotta go finish it this morning.
Yeah.
Since it dries out a little bit, so
probably should do the same.
Anyway, if you like,
yeah, big series of the weekend. Cubs Astros, by the way, both coming in with 48 wins. Meanwhile, it's going to be the Rockies. They're taking on the Brewers. Need a little separation in that NL Central. So if the Rockies could go ahead and start figuring out ways to win, that would be great.
They're the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, that knocked off the Yankees.
Yeah, they're not going to win. They're the worst team in baseball. So,
Rockies, long shot.
All right. If you'd like to listen to the show again, get the information that Jim Schleicher had on the races, you can just go to our podcast section, any one of our social media sites, and download the podcast, listen to this show again. We got some interesting things coming up again next week, so make plans to be here between 7 and 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday next week. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.